Hello, I'm in Runcorn. What do you know about Runcorn other than it's got some bridges? I'll show you those shortly. I'll also show you what else is in Runcorn. There's canals, there's the theatre, there's the River Mersey, and there's a castle as well. So let's have a look at some of those now. I'm here by the side of the River Mersey, the wonderful old bridge behind me, but I wanted to kind of highlight a little bit around the area as well. So behind me here is this nice grassy riverside promenade, and all these geese and ducks are happily feeding away here next to the water. This is a nice side of Runcorn. This is good. There is a lot of greenery as I've been driving round. It's an impressive amount of nature around what is reputationally an industrial area. You've got all the chemical works, ICI, you've got all the businesses, industrial estates here next to the bridge, but you still have all this greenery here. Right, I'm gonna go and find somewhere else before I get eaten by birds. We love a good information board on this channel. Here you've got an explanation of all the things you can see in front of you. At the moment you can see your phone screen or your TV screen and you're watching Rich Lord Travels. If you haven't already, click subscribe. But let's explain what's in the picture. So, number one, on the far side of the Green Bridge is the railway bridge. That's in front of the Silver Jubilee Bridge. That's the two bridges you can see there. Sorry, there's a plane going by. How thoughtful. So the older brick building behind is the railway bridge from 1863, and it was finished in 1868. It was the first bridge to be built between Runcorn and Widnes on the London and North West Railway. So that's the far bridge. And then the Green Bridge, which we see there, is the Silver Jubilee Bridge, 1956 to 1961 that was constructed. It was renamed the Silver Jubilee Bridge in honour of the Queen's Jubilee after it reopened in 1977 after having widening works made to it. You can see a train going across the railway bridge at the moment. Very good. Right, back to the information board. Across the other side there you have, straight in front of you next to the bridge at the far side, you've got the Mersey pub, followed by the former powerhouse and the transporter bridge from Widnes to Runcorn. And then further down we have the church there, which is St Mary's Parish Church, constructed in the early 1900s. And then the two sections of water we've got in front of us here. You've got the near part is the Manchester Ship Canal. It's 36 miles worth of inland waterway linking the northwest together with Manchester to the Irish Sea. Construction started in 1887 and took 6 years. It cost £15 million at the time, the equivalent of nearly £2 billion nowadays. And then further ahead in front of that is the River Mersey. Obviously water's low at the moment. And then the bridge over there, the Mersey Gateway, opened in autumn 2017. It's a second road crossing, and it's 1.5 kilometres from one side to the other, and a 60-mile-per-hour speed limit, 3 lanes either way, looking rather splendid when it's lit up at night. So that's the Mersey Gateway. It's an amazing thing when you look at the engineering required to take people and things and vehicles across water. The bridges, the trains, the roads, all this brought together here in Runcorn. This next information sign talks all about the Mersey estuary, the River Mersey being 110 kilometres long. And there's all these birds and wildlife that can be found here. Cormorants, Canada geese, mermaids, purses, dunlin, shelduck, Atlantic salmon, teal, redshanks, golden plovers, and a black-tailed godwit. All that out there in the Mersey estuary. And the word Mersey comes from an old English word, mare, excuse the pronunciation, meaning boundary. And the river was the ancient boundary between the Saxon kingdoms of Mercia and Northumbria, and was once the Lancashire-Cheshire boundary. Not that I'm any kind of bridge geek, but look at the engineering that's involved with a bridge like this. It's pretty stylish, isn't it? The weight this structure can hold, and it's right next to the railway bridge there. Two of them working in tandem to get people moving places. Runcorn is good. It's an amazing structure. The Silver Jubilee Bridge and the railway bridge next to it here. Oh, look what I see. I see a blue plaque. I love a blue plaque on this channel. Let's go and see what it says. It's a blue plaque from Runcorn Heritage. It says Castle Rock Shipyard, named after the former castle in this area, established by Ethelred in 915 AD. Shipbuilding here since 1810, with facilities owned by John Anderton and Co., Anderton and Le Conteur, Speakman and Sons and Richard Abel and Sons, amongst others. The last boat built at the yard was a Mersey flat, Ruth Bate, launched in 1953. Further along from the railway bridge, there's another blue plaque. Let's go and have a look at this now. It's another Runcorn Heritage blue plaque to Ethelred, Lady of the Mercians, King Alfred's daughter. In 915 AD, she established a fortified settlement to the left of here on the banks of the River Mersey to defend this area in the face of Viking incursions. Mother of Runcorn, Ethelred was a pivotal figure in the formation of England, and we've had no Viking incursions since then, so she's obviously done a good job. Well done. And here inside the railway arches, it's the garage that was featured on the TV programme 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps. Gaz used to work here. So you've got all this space underneath these archways. Why don't they do something with it? Oh, they have. There used to be this building. Looks like an old church building or a school building from back in the day. Fits perfectly under one of these arches. Imagine if they did something with all the other ones as well. That'd be pretty cool. I'm liking this. On the side of this building here is a mural, piece of artwork depicting the history of Runcorn. You've got the bridge, the Silver Jubilee Bridge at the top. You've got the railways to the left hand side and pointing out down towards the beer garden. And to the right you've got Bridge View, and there's a canal boat going down the canal. But I think it's right, it's capturing all the greenery, the fields, the trees, the wildlife, the fishermen, the birds on the water. It's good. Not sure where the dragon comes into it, but if you know, leave comments in the comments below. Why is there a dragon in Runcorn? We've talked of bridges. We've touched on a bit of the waterworks and the waterways here. We'll come on to more of that later on. But I try to recognise how peaceful this is. The water here of the canal, looking so peaceful here in Runcorn. Down there to the Waterloo Bridge. As I mentioned earlier on, one of the things that Runcorn is known for is the TV programme 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps. This building behind was the outside view of the pub, the Archer, and let's have a look at what it is now. As I say, this place was a pub called the Archer in 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps. It's now the Wat Phra Singh UK Buddhist temple. But why was it called the Archer in 2 Pints of Lager and a Packet of Crisps? It was named after the show's script editor, Paul Mayhew Archer, and that's why the pub in a TV show was called The Archer. It's a Buddhist temple, as I say now, and it's a different building as it was before. From what I gather, talking to locals, they like what it is now because of what they've done next door to a bit of greenery next to the bridge. Let's have a look now. So from the temple to the Peace Garden here, there's a sign here about what it used to look like before in February 2024, not long ago, to what it looks like now. This is beautiful. The time and effort they've put into the gardens here, the range of flowers and plants they've got, the smells of this is wow, very special. And also the golden monument here. They've made it look really, really nice. And they're doing some extension work at the back of the temple. It's great, this. I love it when places are regenerating an area for the whole of the community, not just their own purposes, but for everybody to enjoy. Just look at these flowers here. And across from that you've got Waterloo Bridge. We'll go and get a view from the bridge, and then we'll go and have a walk under the bridge and find out something interesting about that. And here you've got the bridge, the canal, the temple, and the road bridge over there. The canal looks really peaceful. This gentleman's doing some fishing, just enjoying a nice day outdoors in the open air. So here at the canal side, at top locks, you have Waterloo Bridge. But if you look closely, this is the end of the line. Let's have a walk down and see. You get to the end here, and it really is the end of the canal. This is the last bit here, underneath Waterloo Bridge. And you walk down this section here. There's some old winding apparatus there. But this here, Waterloo Bridge, is the end of the line. So as we say, it's the end of the line. The Waterloo Bridge marks the modern end of the Runcorn arm and the Bridgewater Canal. Before the building of the A533 and the high-level bridge, the canal continued beyond this point via 2 sets of 9 locks to the River Mersey, and boats could sail through to Liverpool. The other direction provided a link to the whole of the British network, and from here you can still get to London and most major cities in England by canal. There is a project called Unlock Runcorn to enable greater use of canals in the area, to extend the network and to re-establish the link so you can get round Runcorn, to establish more activities and more things to be able to do in Runcorn. Transportation links and all these things here is vital for the town, because being a canal cul-de-sac is not as good as being a through place where people can stop, people can travel through, and people can enjoy what Runcorn has to offer. Let's hope that happens soon. And there's a blue plaque on the side of the wall here, the Waterloo Hotel. The iconic building was built in the 1830s and became the Waterloo Hotel in around 1840. The building opposite the Bridgewater Canal in an area of Runcorn known as Top Locks. Beginning at Waterloo Bridge behind you, 2 flights of canal locks used to operate the old line and the new line, the former terminating at bottom locks near Bridgewater House. The Waterloo Hotel, along with the Navigation Inn on Canal Street, were once favourite haunts of Captain Edward John Ted Smith. He captained RMS Titanic, which sank on her maiden voyage in 1912 after hitting an iceberg. Over 1,500 people lost their lives, including Captain Smith. The Waterloo Hotel closed in 2012. Today, the building is home to the Wat Phra Singh UK Buddhist Temple and Meditation Centre, and great work they've done here. So peaceful here. Greenery, the waters. It's nice. Really peaceful along here. In front of me here is the Brindley Theatre. The Brindley. Now let me tell you why the Brindley is an important name round here. The Brindley is an important name round here, as is Bridgewater. This is the Bridgewater Canal because the 3rd Earl of Bridgewater owned coal mines in the area, and he wanted to be able to move his coal to different parts of the country. So he paid for and organised the building of the Bridgewater Canal. It took his name. They were like that back then. He commissioned James Brindley to engineer and build the canal to go from the coast all the way through to Manchester. And that's where the Bridgewater Canal goes from, all along here. Obviously we've just seen where it stops at the top locks nowadays, but it used to be able to transport all the way along there, all the way through into central Manchester. So James Brindley was the engineer and designer of the Bridgewater Canal. He also did great works with the canals in Birmingham city centre as well. So Runcorn and Birmingham have these canals in common. James Brindley, the same man. A short walk down from the Brindley Theatre, past a number of gyms and bars. You've got this amazing old building here. This used to be the old Runcorn police station. There's a couple of plaques on the wall I want to draw your attention to. This is pretty interesting stuff here at Runcorn. Before we do, I want to draw attention to that nice clock at the top. They really did build amazing buildings back in the day, and I love how clocks are a part of that. This first plaque is to Private Thomas Alfred Jones, nicknamed Todger, of the 22nd Cheshire Regiment, 1880 to 1956. Right, let's have a look at the blue plaque just further down, because as you know, we love a blue plaque on this channel. And it's from Runcorn Heritage, the old police station, built mainly for local sandstone in 1831 at a cost of £450. It had further additions later up to 1897. Situated in the once bustling shopping area of Bridge Street, this beautiful building was Runcorn's first town hall. It also functioned as a bridewell and contained a courtroom for petty sessions and cells in the basement. On the floor to your right, you can see the original stocks. There they are. For bad people. Right, back to the blue plaque. The original stocks. So when the council moved its offices to Waterloo House on Waterloo Road in 1883, it left the police force free to take over the whole building, and it became Runcorn Police Station. It was restored and reopened in 1998 by Queen Elizabeth II. The lamppost behind you marks the former site of a fountain which was given to the town by the Earl of Ellesmere, erected in 1857 but demolished in 1948 for the widening of Bridge Street. It stood on the line of the Sprinch. That's a new word I've not heard before. A brook that once served as the town's water supply. All its history in one blue plaque here at Runcorn Old Police Station. And here's a piece of artwork with a policeman stood next to the Sprinch, the fountain, the town's water supply. Next door to the police station you've got the Royal Hotel, and there's a blue plaque here that says the Royal Hotel late 18th century Grade 2 listed building. Until at least 1817 it was known as the White Hart Inn, and according to tradition, Prince William of Orange once stayed here, after which it became known as the Royal Hotel. As I said, there's a number of eateries and barber shops and gyms round here, and then it comes round into the main shopping area down here, and I'll see on the right hand side there's the Wetherspoons. So let's go and see what's that called and why is it called that. The Wetherspoons here is called the Ferry Boat. But what's the story? The name of this pub recalls the ferry to Widnes West Bank. It started in around 1178. The ferry boat carried passengers across the Mersey for centuries until the opening of the Transporter Bridge in 1905. A regular ferry was first established around 1178 by the 6th Baron of Halton, John Fitzrichard. The ferry, comprising nothing more than a rowing boat, continued to be used for centuries. But even now, in 2025, it's still remembered as the ferry boat Wetherspoons pub here in Runcorn. As with all town centres, there's charity shops, there's vape shops, there's barbers, but they're here in Runcorn. There's also jewellers, there's gluten-free, bakery shops, there's all sorts going on. There's nice independent shops here as well. And further on down, there's some buildings with some nice hanging baskets outside. So it's obvious that some parts of Runcorn town centre, the shops, are paying an interest as to what people want and making the place look really nice. And that's good to see. You've got the Barley Mow pub here, and it's nice hanging baskets outside the front of the pub. That's good to see. I think it's always good to have a pub next door to a fish shop. So once you've finished drinking, having a nice snack to go home with afterwards. Very good. Barley Mow and the Neptune Fish Bar. Happy days. And here on Princess Street, there's a blue plaque, and it's a name that's cropped up earlier. It's Private Thomas Alfred Todger Jones. Thomas was awarded the Victoria Cross, the VC, for single-handedly capturing 102 German soldiers at the Battle of Morval in 1916 during the First World War. He was born at 39 Princess Street. This is Princess Street. 39 was up there somewhere, but it's now demolished. But this blue plaque from Runcorn Heritage remembers him and his work during that First World War. And it was his name that was on the old police building we saw earlier on. You've got to like a place that's got a road name like this. Don't forget, Rich Lord Travels. Click subscribe, click like. Lord Street. Happy days. Rich, what are you doing in the park? You're too old to be going on the swings and slides at your age. Well, this is not any other park. This is Runcorn Town Hall Park. That's right, the town hall isn't in the town centre. It's just a little bit out of town, 3/4 of a mile, if that or so. And it has its own park. All this park area here is part of the town hall behind me. Let's have a closer look at this amazing building. So here we have Runcorn Town Hall. It's host to not just the local dignitaries, but they do weddings here and all kinds of things going on. And it's such an amazing building, very classy, and it's all white decor and the blue doors. This is Runcorn Town Hall. This here is Halton Castle. It's one of a handful of Norman castles to survive in Cheshire. It's a rare and fascinating insight into over 900 years of history. At first, a strategic position of regional importance, the castle, as it is today, has evolved through its history as its owners and times have changed. This is what it used to look like back in the day. And even King John came to visit in 1207. We'll have a look around this place and I'm going to go explore round the grounds here and see what the view's like from the top over the Mersey and over Runcorn. Let's go and have a look. There's all sorts here, little hidey holes, little parts of the castle. This would have been a room. Got the walls round here. I do like how they've got some of the archways and the doorways and the gateways still intact from Norman times. And this was one of the more open areas. This could be one of the great halls of Halton Castle. I love castles. Castles are great. Let's have a look through the window. Well, you can certainly see people coming. And also how thick the walls were. And the view. And these signs here saying what you can see. So to the right is Fiddler's Ferry power station, the Silver Jubilee Bridge, which we saw earlier. Over that way is Liverpool, and here's how Liverpool might have looked in the 1650s from William Ashton's The Evolution of a Coastline, Barrow to Aberystwyth and the Isle of Man. And it says here how Halton Castle was probably built as a motte and bailey arrangement during the 11th century and replaced by a stone structure during the following 100 years. And that's what it might have looked like then in the 18th and 19th centuries, with the 12th to 13th up to the 19th century surroundings. And that's what it would have looked like around 1838. And in front is St Mary's Church. It occupies the site of a much earlier chapel which may have been in existence from around the time the castle was built by the first Baron of Halton in 1071. Do you know what the first Baron of Halton was called? It was called Nigel. St Mary's Church and Nigel. Halton Castle has served as a courthouse and prison for most of its history. Court records date back to 1274, and here's a plan of the courthouse, the jail, the hall, the best parlour, the butty, the vault under the room, confinement and the bedchambers. Halton Castle, the lockups, the sunken garden, the courtyard buildings and the Courthouse Castle Hotel. All this here at Runcorn. Lovely. And here you've got a great view of the old and the new. Got Halton Castle here and the amazing Mersey Gateway Bridge over there, spanning the River Mersey. Next to the castle here is the Castle Pub. Really friendly there, really good pub. Definitely recommended. And that concludes my tour of Runcorn. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of the history of this town, all the good things this place has to offer. And the one and most striking thing is how friendly the people are here. People are wanting to talk to me, they're wanting to tell me about things they know about and things they know I would like to see in the town. So yes, the people here are really, really friendly. Runcornians, good people. Right. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe, click like, leave a comment below, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.